Yes. Well, we were talking about it. What did you say? If you had a robot like that, you would what?
I'd tune him down so he couldn't swing at me real hard. Give
I
him like a
know.
10-pound
Look
grip
at
strength.
look at this dude here in the green. Oh, I'm coming. There it is. Robot flies into rage. Look
So,
at
what the
that
fuck?
thing. How do you stop that too? Imagine if, like, when these things do get smarter than us,
And it's
say
like
what?
following him.
Yeah, and it's like we don't need you, you fucking human. I mean, how do you stop that shit?
Oh, man.
It's. I mean, look at it.
Because, like, I'm not getting close to it.
No, there's nothing you could do. When one of them things start coming after you, that's a dangerous game they're playing with that shit. Building them fucking robots. I mean, especially if they're, somebody can hack them.
Right.
And start.
Yeah,
being
because, I
able
mean,
to-
like, the arms on that thing have to at least weigh what, like, a hammer does. And, like,
You
it's
would
smoked with
think.
a fucking hammer,
Yeah, I don't care if it's hard, plastic or something. It's still. I mean, the robots start swinging, and I mean, just look at this thing
Full
flailing
force
around now.
just swinging, dude.
Yeah, now imagine if it's metal. Look, it's almost like it's reaching for him.
Yeah,
That would
like,
be
come
so
here, bitch.
freaky, dude. Oh, that would be freaky as hell. How do they turn that bitch off? What do you
I don't
unplug him or something?
He had to have.
Look at him. He starts grabbing the thing. It
I'd have
just
left.
stopped. I wonder what they did. I wonder what set it off.
It's like I guess he's got a computer right there or something he was on.
Yeah. But I mean, look. How computers, man, they could glitch.
It looks like one of the robots from the board game that you get, where it's like the wrestling match and you gotta hit the thumb control so they swing.
Yeah. The little boxing, the little
Yeah.
punching things.
That's what it
I
looked
mean,
like.
That's so scary to think that shit's.
I would've
gone,
left.
dude. The bad
I
thing
wouldn't
is
unplug shit.
I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad whenever these things are like, just every day. Somebody's got these robots walking around.
I don't know, because I've already seen, like, I don't know if you saw, I think it was like a Chinese factory or something. One of the robots in there went mad, and it was just like a robot arm or some shit.
Yeah,
and
it
it
was
started
just
flailing
I
around
did.
and swinging.
Yeah, I saw something about that. I know. That's what I mean, dude. And Elon, if you listen to Elon, it's like these things are, eventually AI. It's gonna start to be where it's kind of sentient. Where it's gonna be self-thinking. It's
Yeah.
gonna know how to, and then when it starts thinking like, well, we don't need you, as far as humans, we don't need you.
Right.
So, then
What
it's
up,
like,
what up, everybody?
who we got chiming in? What's up? How y'all doing
Gamer
out
Josh,
there?
what the
Gamer
heck?
Josh?
I'm going to call you Ortiz.
Who the heck? What's up, who the heck? Thank you, brother, for the sub. Or if I'm saying brother, maybe a sister, who knows?
Who knows?
But anyway. But let's see what was happening today. I seen Miss Pam Bondi was talking about the Epstein files that everybody's been waiting on.
Waiting
I mean,
and waiting
I
and
was
waiting
starting
and
to think like, do these things even exist? As far as did the last administration or whoever's in charge of these files destroy them before this one got in out of fear of what could be found in them?
Right.
That was my
What you think was
biggest-
really in them folders that they handed out? You think it was just blank pages?
No, because they were showing them what was in it, but it was a bunch of like flight log shit and just
Yeah.
the stuff that we kind of already know. There was nothing in it as far as any type of evidence or anything pointing to anybody that did any wrongdoing besides Epstein. But according to her now, to Pam Bondi, she's saying that they're going through these files now, and it's taking them so long because she's saying there's tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children and child porn on it. So that's her claim now, that's why it's taken so long, because they're just, like I said, tens of thousands of these videos with him with underage,
Okay, but aren't we asking for documents?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's asking to watch videos.
Yeah, like, just put out the documents.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I want words.
American causes the most crime. Tim, all right, let's get into these comments a little bit. Let's see. How y'all doing out there? F the Dolphins. I love the Dolphins. That's my favorite team. No, look, we in Louisiana, so I mean, who else we gonna go with but these sorry ass
Yep.
Saints? You know, I
Saints
mean,
it up, dude.
you don't have much of a choice. We still riding high on that one Super Bowl win.
Yes, we are.
we're gonna we're gonna take that to our graves. Drew Brees, the best quarterback ever in the world,
All-time GOAT.
all
For
time
sure.
GOAT.
Prove me wrong.
Commanders. We don't call them the Commanders. What's their
Mm,
name? You could type it out. Stop the Commanders. Yeah, Lord. Well, we got the Wolves. Do you guys perhaps know which ethnicity in America causes the most crime? Well, white people do because there's more of us. Now, if you want to talk about per capita, we can get into a crazy conversation here. That's
yeah.
probably not too polite, but the Wolf. What else they want to know? How's New Orleans? Crazy ass city.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I guess like any inner city can be dangerous as shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I
because it's
mean,
got its spots. It's got some nice spots, but try to stay out of it as much as possible.
well, then that should tell you all you need to know about it. When somebody from the local says, "I try to stay out of it as much as possible," Redskins is the best name. I agree.
Yep.
They changed that shit for nothing. Because if I'm not
For
mistaken, even the Native Americans were like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Yeah.
it was kind of like honoring them, really. You know, I mean, it wasn't any kind of derogatory
And
term.
I think that was a
wouldn't think.
big fuss with the Native Americans last
Yeah.
year. One of the tribes was trying to get it changed back, and they just wouldn't do it. But
Well,
hey,
they did that with all of them.
yeah,
You know, when they started taking away like the Aunt Jemima thing and all that shit,
Right.
and the people that were making money off of that or whatever, the family, they were like, well, what the hell? Like, what, we didn't mind. Jaden
So
Daniels is the
crazy.
best quarterback. Guess we'll
Drew
let you.
Brees, dude.
Yeah. True Breeze. We're never stopping.
Nope, Drew Brees.
What were you going to say?
Forever.
I cut you off.
Why does Roger Goodell get booed at the draft? Like when he walks into the draft?
Yeah, they don't
every
like
year?
Goodell, do they? A
It-
lot of people don't.
But I saw like videos that he like welcomes it, like he's like, "Come on."
Yeah.
And they're booing him, and he's like cheering it on. It's crazy, but
Guess it depends. It's kind of like I know a lot like the Patriots can't. I mean, if a Patriots fan base, they can't fucking stand them, And I don't know because I want to say
because they were cheating.
yeah,
caught?
well that's what they were. They were people think because the Patriots were winning so much, like they just had some kind of deal with the league or something. I don't know because they the whole thing where the refs don't call penalties
Oh, yeah.
against them, and then
We just
every
had
time
one.
they would just kind of touch Brady, they would used to throw the flag. So I don't know. There ain't no
How
telling.
many
I think
years
if your
ago
team
was that no
sucks,
call?
that no call with the Saints.
Yeah, it's like 18.
God, yeah, it's been a little bit, but
been a
that was
bit.
another thing. So our
Still
fan
hurts.
base, yeah, they hated Goodell because they wanted him to go back and do something like replay the game or some shit, And
Yeah.
he's like, that's just not a possibility, and that's the power they have when they are fixing these games. They know there's nothing you can do but say, hey, we're going to look at it. And we did find that the officials, probably made a bad call, but we're going to make sure we train them better in the off season. And that's it. I mean, and it's like, okay, let's move on. So, I mean, they can do what they want with the game, and I mean, there's no way you can change the outcome. So you just
Right.
deal with it. They apologize, and then you move on.
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw a video today of it was a video of the Canadian Football League, like the Canadian professional football. I didn't know they
Yeah.
played professional football out there, but
yeah, oh
they
yeah,
do. And so the rule in their league on like kicking field goals or extra points is even if it misses going through the uprights, as long as it clears the end zone, it's still 1 point.
What?
So it was like an overtime kick. Overtime, they're tied up and they kicked and missed the field goal, but got a point because it went past the end zone and they won the game.
That would take some fucking Canadian bullshit to say, look, so if it can miss far, right, left, as
yeah.
long as it clears the end
As
zone?
long as it clears the end zone, they get a point.
That's some dumb shit.
It's 1 instead of 2, but when you're in a tied up game.
I wonder if that's at any point in the game or just, I agree with you. I agree with F the Dolphins there.
I
That
do
is
too.
fucking gay. That's Canadian. But I wonder if
Right.
that's like at every point in the game, or is that like an overtime rule? Or
I think that's at any point in the game.
yeah,
And because the announcer's like, oh, he missed it, but he still got a point, so they win. I was like, what
Nice.
the fuck?
Nah, that's dumb as fuck, man.
So stupid.
Yeah.
And well, F the Dolphins. How do you feel about the new kickoff rule from last year?
No, he said it's all game. He said that they're allowed that all
It's,
game. I've never heard of that shit.
I didn't either until today.
Yeah,
Saw
what
the
now?
video.
Explain the new kickoff rule.
Um, so like they're all like in a straight line now,
Right.
and so the kicker kicks the ball, and the defending team can't start running down the field until the receiving team catches the ball. Once they catch the ball, then the kickoff team can start running downfield. And they said they did it that way too because like the kickoff returns were exciting. So instead of the fair catches and the kneeling, they wanted people to start running the ball more. And I agree with F the Dolphins. It was not great.
I liked how they did in the XFL. They would just, put the ball at like the 50 or whatever, and then the guys would just go, and it was like a scrum. See who was going to get the ball. They need to do more shit like that.
I'm telling you, it needs to be
Yeah,
like a toss up. Like
No, everything
like
with the
basketball.
NFL is getting, safety oriented.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what changes a lot of those rules.
Well, but you would think that like fair catches would be safer than trying to get them to run the ball.
Yeah, but I guess then it's a judgment. Like, the guy has to call for fair catch. So you got guys that aren't going to do it. But I know what you mean. But I guess it's giving them less time to get down there and like lay a smack. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see the new.
They want them to. I don't know what. I mean, you would think. I don't know. And I think it's if the kicker gets a touchback, like if they kick it into the end zone or anything for a touchback, it starts at the 30 now instead of the 20.
Yeah.
I believe. So they're trying to give the kickers reasons to kick the ball to the receiving team, and they're trying to give the receiving team more reason to run the ball instead of fair catching and stopping.
Well, nowadays these kickers are getting to where you can put them on the fucking 1 yard line and they'll kick the damn thing into the other end zone. I mean,
yeah, I don't know why they don't
crazy.
Just like if you're fourth down at your own 10, they should just put the kicker out there and let him fucking just.
Well, I know just watching over the last couple generations or so, just when I was coming up for a person to have the kicker to kick the ball off. And it actually go through the end zone, or through the uprights was just like, holy shit, he just kicked the ball off the tee into the, you know what I mean? Now it's like every one of them can do it if they want to. Just watching the way people become more athletic over time is just fucking amazing to see.
Yeah.
And you see it in every sport really, but that's one of the things that, catches my eye and in football now is the way that they, as far as they can kick these fucking balls, the records they were setting back in the day is nothing. I mean, it's
nothing.
These guys are effortlessly kicking that shit through the fucking end zone now.
The worst people in the league are smashing the records from the 60s,
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I think we should go back to like leather helmets and shit, dude.
Yeah, somebody's upset here. Just fucking stop talking about it. It's what made us. Sorry, bro. We'll stop talking about it. I'm agreeing with you, Justin. Leather helmets.
Yes.
No, because then they'd go to fucking touch football nowadays,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it ought to be. Flag football.
So stupid.
No, they used to, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
it all became a money thing, really, because they used to be able to just lay the smack down on anybody on the fucking field. It was just part of the game. You're not doing that now.
And they won't show the streakers anymore. Like they like
they don't want to
pan the camera away. Yeah, they don't want to. I'm like, show him.
I like when they smoked them motherfuckers. Every time I've seen one the other day running on the field. I forget what sport it was, but he got fucking smoked. It was some kind. He was doing like a gender reveal. He's running in like pink down the fucking thing. The player came off the sideline and fucking laid him out. I was like,
love it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just stop fucking talking about it. So basketball was is Jordan really the GOAT or was he just good at? Cause
it's funny. It's almost like it's a generation thing, but I mean, if you just go and by, I guess it depends on how you judge it. I mean, if you go on by championship wins and losses, I mean, he never lost any of them.
I guess
I
not really
mean,
the GOAT, but was he that much better than everybody else in his time?
I think he just had that much more willpower. Like he wasn't the most athletic person in the world. Now he was athletic, don't get me wrong, but it's not like he was the most athletic person in the NBA back then.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a lot of them were athletes, but I mean, it's kind of like say Tom Brady. He wasn't a tremendous athlete, but it was just the will to win by all means necessary.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was like losing wasn't an option for somebody like Michael Jordan back then. It didn't matter
Right.
if he had to go to the paint and take an elbow to the fucking eye. It just whatever. It was that I'm not going to lose was his mentality. And you
Yeah.
just don't see a lot of that, with pampered athletes nowadays. Not saying there's not some killers out there, but I mean, Jordan wasn't the biggest guy in the world. He was 6'6", 220, 230-ish back when he was playing, and which is big by our standards, but as far as the guys he was going up against with these power forwards and these centers that he was, I mean, he wasn't afraid to drive to the basket with these guys, and they were
Yeah.
beating the shit out of you back then. It wasn't like now where LeBron gets touched and he falls looking for a foul because somebody slapped him on his ass. That's just not how Jordan then played back then. So it's just hard to compare the two, because I guess that would be the only comparison. Is it Jordan or LeBron?
F the Dolphin says Michael Jordan is ass. LeBron is better. So
Oh, you out
that
your mind?
settles it.
What are you? He must be 12. That's no way. But see, that's what I'm talking about. It's a generation thing. If you ask me, I haven't seen a better like player, all around player, like with killer mentality besides Kobe. Kobe was the closest thing I've seen to Jordan. That's because he modeled his game after it. Because
Yeah.
Kobe was an assassin too. He wasn't taking losing as an option.
How did Jordan get this like huge just empire around him? Like, I don't know that Jordans will ever go out of
It's crazy,
style.
huh? Because a lot of the
Like,
kids that wear these don't even know who the fuck he is now.
right.
It's amazing. I watched it, with my kids, they wanting J's and shit. And I'm like, you even know who that is? They don't
Yeah.
even know the fuck, you know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy to see that. But you're right. I think he was just marketed so well because back when it started, he was like the only one that they were pushing like that. And honestly, his game was backing it up. I mean, he
Yeah.
was doing shit that you've never seen before back then. So he just grew into this thing that was larger than life. And then next thing you know, Gatorade's pushing him and Wheaties is pushing him. And he was probably the most endorsed athlete at that time, you know, and that's basically he just was able to ride that wave. And then somehow, like you said, kept it going with these shoes. I don't get that to this day.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
understand it. That's what I was like. Is he just a great marketing, And
well, it wasn't so much
just
him. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he did what he had to do in the commercials, but it was, I guess, Nike being able to do it, and him
yeah,
being such just the shit he was able to do on the court. Like I said, he backed a lot of it up. There wasn't. You're not going to find people that say Jordan gave up. Like you see a lot of people knock LeBron that when it comes to clutch time, sometimes he would just kind of give up or he'd pass the ball away like that. You wasn't getting that out of Michael.
yeah,
Michael's like, give me the fucking ball, I'm shooting it, and 9 times out of 10 he's making it. Next thing you know, he's 6 fucking championships in with no losses in the championships. I
yeah,
mean, so right there, your game's backing it up. You're backing up the hype the entire time. Not to say LeBron, like I see him in the comments, LeBron is a beast. He's an athlete. Jordan couldn't compare to him when it comes to athleticism, but there's so much more to play in sports than that.
yeah.
You got
And
to
F
have
the
that.
Dolphins. Kobe was way better than LeBron.
Oh yeah, Kobe had
Not
that
so
killer.
much. Not so much now.
Yeah, I don't know what they see in LeBron that makes them say he's a better. Like you would choose him. Games on the line. You got 1 quarter left to win. You're down by, a dozen. I don't know why anybody would pick LeBron over those two, Jordan or Kobe. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
to me, that's how you decide. Like, who are you picking? It does, and I don't care, that you might just be a generational fan because that's who you've watched. But if you know anything about their games and how they were, I don't know how you would ever pick LeBron over
yeah.
them.
I'm taking Larry Bird, dude,
Larry was a beast
with his
too,
short
man.
shorts. I like him.
Larry was they'll tell you Larry was a motherfucker. They used to talk about Larry, how there's no way that he can't be a white boy like the way he played out there.
Well, he didn't look very athletic. I've seen
I know.
just videos, and he
I
just looks
know.
like a off the couch white dude.
Yeah. Kobe. Kobe's way better than
Was
everyone.
was way better
No.
than everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Larry's ass.
Larry's ass. Larry's ass. Larry's the GOAT, man, or one of them. But anyway, so to answer your question, I just think Jordan was on a totally different level than any of these guys that you see nowadays. They're fucking pampered, man. They're all
Yeah.
pampered. I mean, it's just what it is. Anytime there's any adversity, they cry. You see it with LeBron all the time. I
Yeah.
mean,
just feel
the
like
dude can't
basketball is just
drive.
not
He
that
can't
hard.
hit the paint without somebody bumping into him and him flopping on the fucking ground.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess I don't want to take too much away from him because, like I said, he is, probably in the top 5 for sure players all time. But
But
you
like,
know,
just put the ball in the basket. Like it's not that hard.
that's it. We could do it.
I'm telling you. Put me out there. Put me in, coach.
But hey, you think LeBron gives a fuck what people think about him?
No.
One thing I got to give him, and I really respected about LeBron, is just staying out of the controversies. He's with the same chick he's been with since high school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's lived life in a very, positive way. He's never been in trouble. I mean, he gets hated on, but that happens in sports. I mean, because you always start like I was sitting here doing, debating on who's better and this, that, and other. But as far as a person, I like how LeBron handled himself.
Well, the latest thing with LeBron that the internet is kind of torn about is so I guess there was a clip a while back of LeBron running up on Stephen A. Smith, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah,
because he
Yeah.
said something about
about
what,
his
his son.
Yeah.
So Kevin Gates said something about LeBron's wife. Like LeBron's
Yep.
wife basically doesn't look at him like a wife should. Like
Right.
she. So LeBron responded on X, I guess, or whatever. So Gates bought front row seats to the game and went and sat front row at LeBron's game, and
I saw that.
LeBron did nothing. So they're torn between like, why'd you run up on Stephen A. Smith like that, but you didn't want to run up on Kevin Gates? And the other half is saying that, LeBron had a game to worry about and he couldn't be focused with the drama. But then they're like,
Yeah,
he
well,
was
he-
focused on the drama with Stephen A. Smith.
I would
So,
say he found time to fuck with Stephen A.'s 5'6" ass.
right.
Yeah, he did. He pulled up on him, I think, after the game, so he could have found Gates if he wanted him.
Yeah. Gates sat
He
there
didn't
front
want that
row
heat.
and was just like,
Which I don't know, but you got to think. Leaving LeBron's got some people that'll reach out and touch you. So I don't know why you would fear any man if you're LeBron.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You think LeBron ain't got some people around him that will do whatever it takes to protect LeBron. I mean. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't do that, but I did hear that Kevin Gates was talking shit, about their relationship or whatever. And then like you said, I know he probably should have just ignored it, but he didn't. He got on
Yeah.
X and said something. So now it's like, okay, well you're keeping that fire going. Now the dude's right there, basically in your home, sitting front seat. So yeah, I thought that was funny, but
Yeah.
Stephen A.
Everybody's
said
like,
it.
He ain't got the same energy. What the fuck?
Stephen A. said he'd have swung on him if LeBron would have touched him.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been a fucking amazing beat down to watch him just? I mean, it when you were watching that video, dude, it's like he's about 2 foot taller than Stephen A.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what were you gonna do if this dude would have reached out and grabbed your little dumbass?
It would have looked like when you're fighting somebody in your dream and like your hands turn into marshmallows.
Yeah, that's about what it would have been. Yep.
F the
Yeah, I forgot
Dolphins
what-
said LeBron's wife's a baddie.
LeBron's wife is a baddie. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, that's what went on. And like you said, he decided he wasn't gonna say nothing to Kevin Gates. But Kevin Gates is so fucking weird. I don't know why anybody be afraid of him. I think he's closeted himself.
Maybe.
Motherfucker's weird. I don't care what anybody says.
Hey, he makes good music.
Yeah, he does. He does. But what's going on with this chick here?
She's getting paid.
Shiloh Hendrix. I want to say her fucking shit was up to about $1 million for calling some kid the N-word. Like, God.
Yeah, I think it. To the last video I saw on it was today. I don't know if the video was super recent, like
Yeah.
today, but it was at like 640 something thousand, 700,000.
Oh, yeah, it was at 7 as of
Yeah.
yesterday. That's
What about
crazy.
white boy Carl?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about. I mean, I think the worst part is, I guess, calling a kid any kind of derogatory term, no matter what race or whatever term you're
Right.
spitting out. But I didn't really. It's hard to know exactly what went on. Supposedly, the little kid was stealing or something.
Stealing
From
out of
her.
her diaper bag,
Yeah.
allegedly,
Yeah. and I don't know how she wound up cashing in on this shit. I guess
Uh,
saying,
it's honestly, it's like a counter protest to the Carmelo Anthony money, basically, is kind of what it's
okay.
turned into.
Yeah, I did see him putting that kind of, together. Like it's okay for everybody to start, donating to someone who took, someone's life. But as soon as this girl started, getting money, that side was throwing a fit, because
Yeah,
basically you were rewarding a girl for, being a blatant racist,
right.
and it's like, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people were saying that's not why they were donating. It was more of, the whole First Amendment thing,
Yeah,
but I think it turns into a race,
that's
that
exactly what it is.
that
It's
you don't reward this girl for hollering that
had
at a child, and unless you're proud of it.
had the Anthony kids shit not blown up to $500,000 or $600,000, she wouldn't have had a
Yeah.
dime off of
Well,
any of it. I promise.
Johnny Five's got a good point because I see a lot of people, this is the big term that's going on right now, which is the black fatigue. And of course, if you don't know what that means or anybody listening, it's just people supposedly, it's people getting tired of how black folk are able to run around and do and say what they want without any repercussions against, white people. Now, I'm not saying that's, how I feel about that either way. I know what they're talking about when the term black fatigue comes up because I see people on X going crazy with that.
Good luck. F the Dolphins. Come back and see us. We usually go live on Tuesdays. Happen to be live on a Wednesday tonight, but come check us out. Sub, and we'll be here. But yeah, I see that, and I see a lot of like end white guilt. Hashtag end white guilt. Da da da. So I truly believe had Anthony's shit not blown up, Carmelo Anthony's shit not blown up, hers wouldn't have seen as much light as it does, as it has. And
thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. Sorry, son. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, brother. But no, you're right. I see what you're saying. That had that Carmelo Anthony shit not, people just started like coming out the woodworks giving him money. Well, then the other side was like, well, guess what? We can do it too.
That's exactly what's happening in my mind. That's what's happening.
Right, and it's all just based on race,
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, Johnny Five made a good point because a lot of people are getting tired of that shit. I mean, it's a fact. People, I see it all day long. People just pissed off at the way that either they're being treated or they're seeing somebody being treated, and it's being allowed because of race.
Yeah, and Johnny Five's newest comment just said it too. If you had read some of the things that were being said on Carmelo Anthony's
I saw it. Oh yeah,
GoFundMe, whatever.
Yeah, it was basically it had nothing to do with was he justified or not.
Right.
It was all about basically they were right. They were glad he did what he did because it was a white kid.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I seen all the hateful shit, and I'm sure just as much is going on on this girl's.
Well, both the comments have been shut down now, so you can't read any of them because it was bad. I mean,
I was surprised they were even allowing her to make money, and that's part of what this
wasn't. But Give Send Go is
right. Yeah, GoFundMe. But didn't they shut his down too? GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. Yeah. They shut anything that gets political. They shut that shit down. They ain't playing that on GoFundMe, but
which is odd because if you're not accused, like not charged, but if you're not found guilty of any crime, then you should be able to get on there and raise money. I mean, what if you're raising it for your defense?
Well, I don't know that you can raise money on GoFundMe for legal defense. Like, I think that's one of their stipulations.
Is it?
For that reason that they can just say no. Like, we don't want you. Like, I mean, if you get found with 50,000 pictures of child porn on your phone, but you're like, I haven't been convicted yet, and GoFundMe lets you raise $1 million. I mean, now they look like the pieces of shit. So
I just think they
shut
could
it all down.
I just think they could take like Spotify's way of looking at it. That look, you do as long as it's not illegal, we're gonna let you do what you want to do on here.
Right, and they don't.
It's like if I'm raising money, right? No matter what I'm raising money for, as long as I'm not saying, "Hey, I'm raising it so I can, go purchase child porn."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's kind of touchy thing. I just think you have the right to raise it if you're being accused of something. It's kind of like when they took down Kyle Rittenhouse's
I
shit
was
too.
just about to say that.
And he was
They took
found
down
innocent
Kyle's too.
in the
Yeah.
long run. So he had all the right in the world to raise money for a defense. I mean, he's being accused of a heinous crime, but
Yeah.
whatever. That's their platform. You don't have to use it.
I think I was looking at actually her shit on Give, Send, Go, just some of the top donators and shit like that. And if you scroll down under the like donate money button, it's like send prayers.
Let's go.
It's like, what the fuck?
Let's go.
If I
Shiloh.
post that my house burnt down and I'm in need of money for, whatever reason, and people start sending me prayers, I'm deleting it. I'm deleting the whole fundraiser.
I'm looking up our Give, Send, Go right now. Help protect.
There's so many of them.
Well, this is the one because it is up to. Let me see. Yeah, this bitch is up to $747,000. I mean, she's getting paid, dude. We about to. What can we do? I want to get on there. Do we have to do something stupid?
Let's do it right
Let's
now
see.
on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we just got to scream the N word.
Yep.
I'm trying to see where's the comments at in here. Oh,
They
they
don't
shut them
have them
off. You
anymore.
said okay.
Yeah, they shut them down. Look, scroll down. Go send your prayer
Where?
right down.
Oh,
there.
right here.
Boom, pray. Yeah.
So you can do that, but you can't see them. Nobody can see them, right?
No.
Oh,
No,
man.
because if you go to the donations, it's just got the donation money amounts, I believe.
I want to see what's her side of. We're currently doing okay. No one has been harmed, and we're getting by. So she doesn't say what she got in shit for. She's just saying she was afraid for her life. My name is Shiloh. Okay, I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. Another man who was recently found out has a history with law enforcement, which is true. I think the dude has some kind of sexual crime or something, but proceeded to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted these videos online, which has caused my family and myself, blah, blah, blah. My social security number has been leaked, my address, my eldest child may not be able to go back to school. Okay, we get it, but she's like, I called the kid out for what he was.
how
She's
many
like
gives
super
is that?
unapologetic.
Oh, she's
many-
not apologetic at all.
Yeah.
What's the number, Pat? Where it says give, that red button right there?
28,161. That's how many people have donated?
Yeah,
Yeah. $747,000.
dude.
I don't know, man. That might be worth it might be worth getting in some shit.
$700,000. I mean,
Oh, man, it's so crazy. Anyway. So yeah, like I said, I think you hit it on the head. I think it's a competition now between
It
her
is.
and that other boy.
100%.
Well, like, what's he at right now?
I don't know.
What's his name?
I have no clue how to spell it.
Yeah, I think it's with a K. 'Cause I always think about the basketball player Carmelo Anthony, but he's with a C.
Maybe it's,
No, I know it is for sure. Top results. There it is. Oh, she done got him.
oh, yeah. I thought she passed him up.
520. Oh, they better come on. 15,000 gives. Jesus Christ. Wow. All right, man. Well, she done.
Did you see Carmelo Anthony's lawyer in an interview? Everybody was calling it just incredibly ironic because, like, as you know, the white kid's dad showed up at that press conference, right? And
Yeah.
so they were like, he was saying something, basically like he wouldn't leave. Like, we were just asking him to leave, and he just wouldn't do it. All he had to do was just leave. And everybody's like, oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All they had to do
really?
was just leave. Yeah.
Like,
Isn't that
yeah.
something? The irony. I don't know what the dad, like, why he was there.
He said
I
he
don't-
showed up just to show support of just like, hey, like, I don't, there's no hatred,
Yeah,
like,
I think he said because he had done forgiven the son.
Yeah.
I guess from a religious standpoint, it's I forgive you, but yeah, I don't know if that was why he was there or he was just trying to, be intimidating or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what was in his heart or in his mind, but they asked his ass.
he
to
said he
leave.
just wanted to really, it was more towards the parents of Carmelo Anthony, just like, hey, like, y'all are going through some shit too. Your
Well, that
son's,
is, yeah,
like,
yeah, because
you know.
it's not their fault,
Yeah, right. So he's like, as a parent to parent in this situation, like, I support
Yeah.
y'all, and no, they didn't
That
want
makes
none of
sense. And see, that could have been such a huge moment because the lawyer could have, like, well, let's introduce them, right here on fucking TV.
Right.
Let's do it. They probably would have done the whole shaking hand, hug thing, and it might have stopped all the nonsense for a little while, It probably would have made a lot of sense to do that instead of run the guy off. Then it just makes you look like a piece of shit.
Right. And it did.
Yeah. Damn.
And it did. Because did you see that phone call? They had called him talking about basically like, we're tired of the white suppression in this country and, da da da. And he was on speakerphone and he was like, whoa, 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 no, I'm not part of any of this. Y'all are part of the fucking problem right now. Like, y'all need to stop.
Who was
this
it he
shit.
was talking to?
It was some like white activist talking to the dad of the kid that was stabbed.
Yeah, and he was like, no, we ain't going there.
Yeah, he was like, absolutely not. Like, no. And then there was a meme because homegirl just got paid, the Hendrix chick, and they were like, I forget what the white kid's name is, but they were like, so and so's dad after seeing homegirl get $500,000 on Give Sing Go.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I didn't know you did that, but they were trying to come at him and get him to be part of this black fatigue movement, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Dominic Alexander, that's the lawyer for Carmelo Anthony.
Dude has 10 charges, and one of them is I think that's the one that was recording the chick in the park.
Oh, because I know the lawyer for Carmelo Anthony has a
maybe that is who he's talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know the lawyer's name.
They looked him up, and he's got a ton of charges. Actually, 1090 Jake was talking about it. He's got charges for like beating one of his old lady's kids and doing this and doing that. Yeah,
damn.
Like he's been like to jail, or I don't know if he's been to prison, but he's been to jail multiple times on some crazy shit. And so that was 1090 Jake's point. He's like, now he's like this black activist of black on white stuff. He's like, but every time you got arrested for beating on a 2-year-old black kid. So, what's going on now,
Damn. Such a good point. Let's see. I did see, I was thinking of these. It says Belgian teens.
Oh, he's a spokesman. He's not actually their lawyer.
Oh, okay. All right. He's still an idiot. So, let's see. Well, speaking of crimes, let's share this. Bear with me. There it is. Belgian teens found with 5,000 ants in Kenya, given 2 options for their punishment, it says. Now, they were stealing fucking ants. Supposedly, there's money. It's like a black market of ant selling that you can do.
Yeah.
Craziest shit I ever heard. But they had their choice: $7,000 fine or 12 months in prison for that shit. That's the minimum penalties for stealing ants from Kenya.
Damn.
Yeah, look at them. They fucked up. Yeah, I never heard. Apparently, there's these. I don't know what the deal is with the ants
it's
over
like
there.
It's like the carpenter ants or some shit that they were taking, like these giant ants. Which, I was actually looking recently into getting an ant farm because they're pretty fucking cool. But I would buy some bootleg Kenyan ants.
They had them in the vials, apparently.
They did. Did you see the box? It's like a huge box of vials.
Damn. I'm trying to. I wonder what they chose. I guess you'd have to pay the money. Fuck spending 12. Man, look, somebody better come up with that $7,000 if I'm over there in Kenya locked up for stealing ants. somebody better find that $7,000 for me.
Help me.
Dumbasses. Anyway.
Did you speaking of getting locked up in other countries, have you seen Vitali? Like any of his shit? Like he was just a famous streamer a few years ago, and I think he went off the rails. And he just got locked up in where was it? Where the fuck did Vitali just get locked up in?
Yeah,
Cuba
I know.
It
was damn it. No, let me see. I'm looking right now. Because I know what you're talking about. I saw the headline, but I can't remember. Facing 24 years.
Yeah.
Over there in damn it, the Philippines.
Philippines, yes.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. But what I'm trying to remember what he did. 24
He was
years
just
in a
fucking with
Filipino
people.
prison for live streaming crimes with 2 to 3 years awaiting trial guaranteed. Streamers were the new rappers, and now the genre's fading. Time for the youth to rediscover music. Oh, so he was just over there being a dumbass like that Jack Doherty
Yeah.
motherfucker?
Well, worse than that, like he was over there like freaking people out. Like he ran up on this old lady and was like, "Hey, hey, hey," and he was like trying to give her something and she wouldn't answer. So to get her to stop, he's like, "I'm gonna fucking rob you. I'm gonna rob you right now." And she was like, "Whoa." And then like he was going around and fucking with the cops of the Philippines, like stealing their hats and shit, and he'd run off with their hat and like it was nuts. I'm so glad he got fucking locked up. Fuck
But
him.
it's like, yeah, imagine wanting, I don't know, dude, like views that bad. Well, I don't get
He's
it.
just trying to come back from his last prison stint and his last fucking
Oh, he was
cancel.
already locked up?
Yeah, he got fucked up on mushrooms and beat the shit out of some chick on a walking trail.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
I did hear that story. Okay. All right. Yeah. So he was trying to make a little comeback, so he's got to go off the rails basically to get people to notice him.
Yep.
I
And
was
he's
wondering
a
why.
nut anyway. Like there's live streams out there where like people are just about calling the cops to his house because he's just talking crazy shit in his house alone, and like he's got some mental shit going on with him. But fuck him.
Yeah, 20, man, can you imagine being stuck over there?
24 years.
Yeah, and they don't fuck yeah, they're going to make an example out of him for one.
Well,
So I don't
they
think
showed
he's
a
going
picture of the Filipino prison he'd be in, and that motherfucker does not look comfortable.
to no.
And he still thinks it's a joke. Like he's in the courtroom, fucking like laughing and like fucking with people.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, there was sometime I wish that damn Jack Doherty, whatever the fuck you however you pronounce his name, that this idiot right here.
He just got robbed in
I
L.A.
saw
or
that.
some shit.
Yeah, I saw that. I think they was bitching at he was bitching at a security guard, wanting to know what the fuck were you doing.
His
But then
security
you
guard
never,
was like,
you just never know with these motherfuckers though. Like that could have been staged, you know?
"Yeah, I mean, I guess it could have for sure, but
Isn't it? Was he the one that his security guard like punched the fuck out of somebody in one of them videos?
I think so.
The
Yeah,
dude it looked like they were in a costume or something, and he was kind of arguing back and forth a little bit, and he just laid him out.
yeah." And he
And
got
I
in a
was like,
fight with that other streamer Neon at the
yeah,
UFC
yeah,
fights.
the
Yeah,
UFC fights, yeah, yeah. Somebody ought to whoop his little ass. Any of these little fucking these ones that run around just aggravating the fuck out of people for
yep.
views. I mean, really, it's I don't know.
his
I
his
guess they get away
security
with
was
it.
explaining what happened, and he's like, basically, the car pulled up. He was like, I seen him get out the car. It was like three dudes, and he was like, so I seen him running up. I tried to get to you, so I grabbed one of them, and then I seen the guns come out, so there was nothing I could do, and I
Yeah,
just backed up.
first thing I saw was he was set up by security. You know.
He said, "Guns? Oh no."
Yeah, I didn't sign up for this. Like, because usually all he's doing is just keeping people from really slapping the shit out of him.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because
once
I saw it was a short clip of him talking to security, and he's like, security's like, they had guns. And Jack Doherty was like, where the fuck was your gun?
yeah, where was yours? Oh, I did hear him say that. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's why a lot of people was like, dog, that was set up. Security let that shit happen.
They may
And
have.
they probably got a little cut from whatever jewelry he was wearing.
It
I
was
hope they did.
a
Fuck that punk.
$200,000 chain and a $100,000 chain.
Fuck him. I hope he was set up.
So they were trying to get his watch and shit. He had like an Audemars on, and
Damn. Well, speaking of these little pranksters, let's look at this case here. This is the one I wanted to pull up. I didn't even read it yet, so I wanted to get into it while we were on here. Let's see what this one's about. Not that one. We just looked at that one. This one here. There it is. All right. It says high school athlete shot dead after TikTok door knock prank goes wrong. I don't know if you've heard about that or not.
no,
That's
I may have seen like a still shot of it, but
Yeah, well, let's see what they're talking about. Virginia homeowner allegedly shot and killed a three-sport high school athlete after the teenager and two pals banged on the shooter's door while playing ding-dong ditch. We used to call that something different when I was young. That's weird.
yep.
Let's see. Tyler Butler, 27, was charged Tuesday with killing the 18-year-old and injuring one of his friends during what police initially reported as an attempted burglary on a residential block about 3 a.m. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. They running around banging on people's doors. Butler claimed two detectives, that a trio of teens were trying to break into his house, but the wounded teenager insisted they were only recording a prank that would later be shared on TikTok. Okay, well, so far you're beating on his door. Let's see where he shot him. The boy suffered a graves. Said the group was looking for a place to hide when a series of gunshots. Okay, so they had done ran.
Yeah.
So apparently that's not justified. You can't shoot people when they're running away from your house. Third team, who was not harmed, reportedly told police they were playing Ding Dong Ditch, which involves knocking on. Okay, we know what it involves. Let's see. The victim was gunned down the same day as a high school prom. All right,
Yeah,
what you think this dude's going? Well, he's going down for that shit.
Oh yeah, he's getting locked up for sure.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to read it because I didn't even click on it earlier. I wanted to see if it was some kind of that can be an argument for being justified. But yeah, you'd have had to catch them beating on your door and trying to get in it.
Yeah.
I think this dude was just like, I don't know. I guess he thought this is my chance to fire his gun.
Yes, and usually like the threshold is like usually you're good to go. Like once that threshold's crossed, it's go time.
Yeah. Just somebody on your porch knocking on your door. I mean, that's not a reason to start firing rounds. I mean, it could be somebody broke down or something, and just looking for help. Or
well, I mean, even if they're kicking the shit out of it, you still have a barrier of protection between you. It's like at that point you can still call the police because that person on the other side of the door isn't really a threat to you at that moment. Like
you'd probably have to
threat.
I guess it would depend on the circumstance. I guess let's say you're like a single mother at home with two small children and it's 3 a.m. and someone's kicking your fucking door. Now, I would think she'd have a good argument to say I was fearing enough to where it justifies being able to shoot through that door.
Yeah, I would hope, but I would still think she'd get some time. Yeah, I think the only way is if you pulled up the Ring camera and there was like 3 dudes with AKs standing on the front porch kicking the door, and they're just like, and then you shoot through the door. It's like, well, if they would have came through the door, they were pulling the trigger, so there was no time. It's like.
Well, I know you saw the one where the dad shot the ex-boyfriend or whatever.
Oh yeah,
but he had kind of made his way in though, right?
Yeah, he kicked the door open, and as soon as the door swung open, Dad shot, boom, laid him out right in the driveway.
And he had all the right in the world to do it at that point. Is what you're saying.
Did you hear the neighbor coming up after the fact? He's like, he didn't have a gun.
Fuck.
he's down. He's dead right here. He didn't have a gun. It's like, fuck him and his gun.
Somebody that crazy that starts breaking into the home of the father, wherever the girl was at, that was going to be dangerous at one point. So
they had been broken up for like 3 years. She said she hadn't talked to him in like 3 years, and he just showed up. He started leaving her voicemails recently, and then showed up.
There's almost no other way to deal with people like that because a lot of times jail doesn't do anything.
Nope.
We went through it with your sister shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that boy was in jail for stalking her, calling her from jail. Trying to get her on the phone. He just got arrested for it. So that's how bad them people get when their minds are just thrown off like that, But it looks like I lost you there.
Where the hell did I go?
Who cares? But you can still hear me. But anyway, so there's only one way you deal with people like that that just can't get it through their fucking head, And the dad did the right thing. Let him open the door.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let him open the door, and he
all
did.
You can do.
He took the room temperature challenge, dude. He fucking.
No. What'd you do to your camera?
My phone's plugged in and still died.
Nice.
It's coming back on right now.
There you go.
Anyway,
I do want to know what the fuck, what the customer service in this country, dude. Explain to me why it's gone to shit.
I think people are just not paid enough to care.
But they never were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in labor jobs or service industry, like that people never were paid like just amazing salaries. But it used to be where the customer was actually treated like, they were wanted at the establishment. That shit's
Right.
bad now. I mean, it's fucking bad everywhere you go. It's like you're bothering motherfuckers when you're trying to, buy whatever the fuck it is they're selling.
Dude, the worst is Popeyes. Absolute worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. I almost had to beat up the lady at Popeyes. I tell you what. I tell you what.
I can't stand. I won't even go. Like I'll eat it, but it's like I'm not going to pick it up.
No, absolutely not. I don't want to order it. I don't want to go pick it up. No, dude, she had me heated. She had me heated 'cause she was being a bitch the whole time. And it was like an old, like I say old, she was probably in her 50s, like just, a later aged white lady.
Yeah.
She was just being a fucking cunt. Like,
oh yeah, it ain't.
I'm trying to order, and well, usually like I kind of expect it out of the younger people that are working, that are just like, I don't give a shit, But I was just trying to order, and I'm like, all right, I need so and so, like a number 3 or something like that, with a Dr. Pepper, and told her the side, and she's like, all right, number 3, da da da, and she's like, so. You want the combo? And I was like, yeah, like with the Dr. Pepper. And she's like, I'm like, with the drink? And she's like, yeah, that's a combo. I'm like, yeah, bitch, I know. I fucking told you that from the beginning. Fuck. So man, right there, I almost drove off. I was so close to just leaving. I was like,
you sound like me. That's kind of what I do. Like, you know what? Fuck you. I'll just leave.
Dude, I was, because I was like, this is going to go bad. This bitch is going to piss me off. I can tell it's coming. And so we get through the ordering process, get inside, or not inside, but get up to the window. And then she like was fine then, when we get up to the window, she was fine. And I'm like, oh no, bitch, fuck this bitch. So get our food. And like, it was so weird because she was a whole different person from on the speaker. But like I said, I was already pissed off. I was like, fuck this bitch. So get up there. She's like, hey, it's whatever the total. I give her my money, and she hands me the receipt. And I was like, I'm not saying nothing. Fuck you. Like, usually I'm like, oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Da-da-da. No. You ain't getting nothing out of me.
The worst to me is when you tell them thank you and they don't say shit.
Yeah, that's why I was like, nah, I ain't even going down that road with you. Because you're going to piss me off. So I didn't say nothing. And coming to the end of it, she's like, all right, have a good night. And then I didn't say nothing. So she like started to turn around. I was like, can't. I was like, get fucked, bitch. And we rolled off.
Get fucked. That's
she had me so mad. I was
well, that's what I mean. You get it where the service is shit, and then out of habit, a lot of times when they hand me my food, I'm like, I'll say thank you or something, and then they just close the fucking window, and it makes me want to throw that shit. And I'm thinking, well, I done paid for it, so I guess I can't throw it at the fucking window. But it's like, give me my thank you back, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, like, fuck you then,
I hate that shit.
Oh God,
and it's everywhere. Look, and it's sometimes you can, people have a bad day. I get it. But it's like all the fucking time.
All the time.
Man, that shit would have never, how every place used to be run like Chick-fil-A back in the day. Every place. They actually make you feel like, they want you there spending money. These motherfuckers don't care nowadays at a McDonald's, a Burger King, a Popeyes, like you said, and it ain't just there. It's fucking everywhere.
I think Chick-fil-A and Sonic are the best two as far as like getting some sort of customer service.
Yeah. Well, look, prime example. Watch, let me pull this up. Let me pull this shit up. This is the fucking service industry here. Let me share my thing. Let's watch this. Bear with me. Right there. All right, let's see this. You can see that on the screen?
Nah.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm looking at the screen.
Oh, now.
There it is. Yes.
All right. I thought you meant to. Anyway, now.
And you think you're gonna check me in? I bet you we won't.
I paid for a ticket.
And you
I paid for a ticket.
For agent assist fee.
Now the two black girls there, they are the employees at the airport. Okay. There's a guy, he showed up, he said about 30 minutes or so before his flight, and he was trying to check in so he could go. Well, they weren't letting it happen. Apparently it was, basically you're too late, which is fine. Even if the customer was in the wrong and was too late, just watch how these girls act. Like it's totally fucking fine to act like this at a place of business.
3 hours later, hello.
I just said that I.
Get on your flight.
Yeah, I just said that I would pay the
And you thought you was gonna
$25.
get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your
The
flight.
other one's
I
laughing.
literally
It's
paid for a
hilarious.
ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your
Because
flight.
it's a policy. We don't control that.
And you will never fly
You were
on
about to
Frontier
let me
unless-
check in. You were about to let me check in,
Oh,
and you
make-
decided that you ain't gonna
make
let me check in.
you Make me check you in.
Look at
Make
that.
me check
Literally
you in.
work for a
Make me
company that
check
I
you
bought
in.
a
Make
plane
me check
ticket
you in.
for. I'm here 30 minutes before the
Can you
flight.
please leave, sir?
No,
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm not in your personal space.
You're in
This
my
is
face.
not
I
your
work
personal
here.
space.
This is my stationary.
This is not
I'm at
your
Frontier.
personal space. You work for a company. This
you
is
get left
not
for
your
work.
personal space.
We ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta worry about it.
You don't have
We
to
ain't
worry
getting
about
on
it. You're literally not
We
doing
ain't
your
gotta get on no
job
flight.
for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home.
I told you to stop putting the camera on me, sir.
I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket and they are not letting me check in. For no reason whatsoever.
Well, you said you're never flying the airline again, so we might as well help you out and have you not fly the
You can go
airline.
over to
I've already bought a ticket. I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
You know,
Made that-
and it's like I said, no matter who was in the wrong there, to nobody in a position of authority stepped up and told them two girls to just look, cut that out. Let's figure
Right.
out what's going on. Even if the guy's in the wrong, we'll have somebody. Look, you're gonna have to leave, sir. But it was just the whole taunting and the attitude and just
yeah.
I don't give a fuck because there's no repercussions apparently. But
No.
when did something like that become allowed, dude? That would have been you'd have been fired so fucking
Oh
fast.
God, dude,
'Cause-
you'd have been escorted by security out like
Yeah,
immediately.
that's not how you handle any situation, right or wrong. As far as the customer, whether the customer was right or wrong, you don't handle it like that as an employee. And I don't know who the guy at the end was, but he looked like he was a little higher up than they were, and he was just sitting there allowing it.
Yeah, like this how we handle any kind of conflict around here.
And
Yeah.
I don't know how you get it, how you get anything back in the service industry as far as just taking care of the customer and the lack of the piss poor attitudes. I don't know how you get it back, man.
I don't know that you do, man, because I do see a lot of these movements, basically like we're not taking shit from customers anymore, like we go to work not to be like to work, not to be abused by fucking customers. And I think a lot of the prior generation caused some of it, because
Yeah.
I mean, I know just if you've worked a service job, you've ran into some angry fucking
True.
hates his life old ass grandpa or grandma that just comes in there and wants to be a fucking bitch just to
Oh,
be
yeah.
a bitch.
No,
So
and you're right. I mean, you shouldn't, as an employee, an employee, you shouldn't have to put up with that either, But when you can hear the guy, he wasn't belligerent. You know what I mean? He
Right.
wasn't happy. He thought they were in the wrong, and he may have. I don't know how the conversation started, but it was just so unprofessional
Well,
to
yeah,
handle it, and for nobody to step in and say, "Look, this isn't how we do this." you
Right.
know?
And that's kind of where it's like with everything, it starts small and then it gets to where it's just like, okay, well, this is not what we had planned. It's like it starts with like, hey, look, you're being fucking abusive right now, and I have to work here. I'm not taking your shit, so
Yeah.
you can get the fuck out. It starts there where it's just like, hey, that's reasonable. If somebody's yelling at you for no reason or,
Sure.
cursing at you, and it's like, I'm not dealing with this. And then it turns into, oh, well, now we can just tell customers whatever we want. I'm having a bad day. Like, fuck you, I'm not
Yeah.
explaining why I'm doing this. It's like if you question what I'm telling you, I'm an authority here, so fuck you, you know?
No, and I get it because I mean, being a business owner, like, yeah, I don't put up with shit either, you know, but I don't ever, for one, I don't initiate it.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I don't. A customer's only going to get so stupid with me before it's like, okay, well, you're about to have a bad day now because I don't play this shit.
Right.
But at the same time, like you said, I don't start off with that attitude as the one, you know, helping somebody or whatever it is, you know. And
No,
when
and
I go
don't-
to a place of business and the attitude starts from the beginning, you know, with that what you want attitude, what the fuck you mean what I want? How about
Yeah.
can I help you? You
Yeah.
know? I mean, let me give you a reason to be a bitch, you know.
Right.
But you don't have to now.
Nope.
I've watched it go down, and a lot of it started with, you know, with the pandemic because you couldn't find people didn't want to work.
Yeah.
So the ones, I mean, they were hiring anybody they could. They didn't give a fuck. Well, it's kind of like now we're just stuck with that for some weird reason because places are still having problems hiring people,
Yeah.
and I
That's
don't get
why-
how the fuck these people are living.
Man,
without
I'm
working
so
still.
glad that everywhere is switched to being able to order your shit online.
Yeah.
You can order McDonald's online. You can
I
order
did- yeah, I
Burger
went to,
King, Taco Bell, Walmart, everything online. I love it.
I stopped at that trash ass place this morning at McDonald's, and you know, it was the first time in a while. But I went inside, and they had the little kiosk there,
Yep.
which was fine. I don't mind it, but they had an older couple that came in after me, and they don't do all that kiosk shit. I don't even think they had a debit card on them, you know, and they were
Yeah.
stood at the counter. I sat there. They were at the counter waiting to be helped. I did my kiosk order. I went and sat down, waited for my order, which was 2 orders behind other people. They got their order. The other person got theirs. I finally got mine, and them old people still haven't even been approached by an employee for them to say, can we help you? They're standing at the register waiting, and
Yeah.
they're just totally being fucking ignored. And I'm thinking, well, you got more fucking patience than me.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that kind of had me thinking about that this morning. Like, where the fuck did the customer service go? Like, these old people didn't do anything. They were
Right.
patiently waiting. You know, it's like, why would you treat them like that?
And I'm almost glad that it is going that way, that these big corporations are just hiring anybody and it gives just fucked up customer service because I feel like maybe not today, but soon it's going to start allowing openings for smaller mom and pop shops to come
Yeah.
and take over some of the market share. You know, because if there was a burger joint that could, you know, almost compete with McDonald's, that was
Right.
a mom and pop shop local that did, you know, breakfast in the mornings, they did, you know, fast food type, I would go to them, you know, if they had decent customer service compared to a McDonald's, you know?
yeah,
Because I don't want to deal with the fucking people
True.
at McDonald's.
The only thing I think that keeps these places going that have piss poor service is the convenience factor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to get out your car for the most part. Well, people nowadays are so lazy that they'll put up with the bullshit service as long as they get what they're wanting. You know, it's like, hey, I want a number 2 fucking combo. I got to deal with this bitch, but I don't have to get out of my car or whatever. And then you become accustomed to it that anytime somebody doesn't treat you like that, like when you go to a Chick-fil-A, it's like, whoa, where the fuck am I? Like, this is weird, you know?
Yeah, and
it's a rarity now, you know.
that's what I'm saying. So what is stopping, you know, any local mom and pop shop from opening a convenient, you know,
Yeah,
burger
they just
breakfast
got to be
spot
able
where
to
it's just-
compete price-wise for one.
Yes,
It's gotta
that would be the
tough,
biggest thing. Is price.
you know. And you got to be able to, you know, I guess be able to the convenience, you know, the whole drive-through thing. So I'm with you. If you can open up something like that, but you better be able to compete price-wise, and normally you can't with these big corporations, you know. Not even
Right.
like McDonald's cheap anymore, but if McDonald's is $10 for a fucking combo, a mom and pop place is probably going to have to be 15.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
I
and-
mean, like that Sliders place, right?
Yeah,
Expensive as shit,
right.
but they're convenient, they're nice, and I see it packed up all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we'll see if it stays that way. That's the problem, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would all model their shit after Chick-fil-A, they would all need 27 employees like I see at Chick-fil-A. It's
Yeah,
God
dude.
damn, they all over the place. I mean, they're out. They got 4 or 5 of them outside serving you. You know?
Yeah, they're
I
walking
mean,
up to
they
the
got a
cars with
system in
tablets.
that
It's
motherfucker.
great.
Every time I pull up and the line is wrapped, I'm thinking, fuck, man. But it's so quick.
So
and
fast.
It's efficient. So it lets you know it can still be done.
It can be done.
It's just, as consumers, we've allowed these places to get away from the service because we've got so fucking lazy.
Yeah.
You know, that we haven't demanded that out of them because, oh, well, I just won't go there no more. Most people aren't doing that. You just deal with it, you bitch about it, and then you move on your day. And the next time you're hungry and you need something quick, you're pulling right back into it, and they know it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how many people pay attention to the windows at these fast food restaurants, but most of them, corporate's number is right there on the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know what you would get out of them. Maybe a fucking free,
I know, like
Frosty or something. But
I used to work at Sonic, and all the Sonics around here are they're owned by local people. They're franchises. So usually the franchise guy's name is on the window with the number, and so you'd probably get a bit more of a response out of something like that than a major they do franchise fast food chain.
These McDonald's around here. I think all of them in our city over here are owned by the same guy, and his name is he's a local guy.
Yeah,
so
his
name is
may
on
get a
it.
decent response if it's like, hey, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but
you think, of all the customers they have, you think they ain't getting complaints every fucking day? But it's like, how do you change it when
I don't?
I mean, you're hiring your hiring pool is only so big, and it's only you got certain type of people that are filling out the applications and looking to work there. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, because it's not like you're offering people $30 an hour to get some college educated, person that you're really doing some hardcore background checks on and, vetting these people. It's like, well, we need employees. This one's filling out applications, and this is what you got.
Well, I applied at McDonald's back in the day, and they never called me back. So fuck them. But
even you were too fucked up at McDonald's.
Yeah,
damn,
dude, they never called me back. I went in for an interview. I did the application, got a call, went for an interview.
How the fuck
left
did you
the
not
interview,
get hired at
never
McDonald's?
got a call back.
What did you write on the fucking application?
I have no clue, dude.
You told them about your 6 felonies?
I guess. I don't remember. It was so long ago, but
bro, that bar is low.
Dude, I got all the way into the McDonald's office that they have here and did the interview, sit down interview, and I left. No.
They were like, nah, this dude. That's why I like when Funny Marco used to go do them before he was so famous. He'd do them interviews like he's wanting to work there, demanding all kind of crazy shit from them, And even he was about to get hired.
Yeah.
Your ass couldn't get hired at McDonald's.
Couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, that's crazy. You could nowadays.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah. I could probably walk in and spit on the floor, and they'd be like,
Which, I don't know, the ones around here, they ain't hiring your white ass.
No.
I don't care what they say. People usually stick to their own kind, and and that's everyone you walk in. It's like, well, all right.
I think if I had to apply to any big chain or something right now, if I just lost my job and had to go apply, I'd probably go start applying at Tractor Supply and Ace Hardware and shit. You
don't want no fast food?
No.
Well.
Nope. Did you see any of the clips of Drewski and being a nail tech?
No, I didn't.
No, he was just being a fucking nail shop technician and fucking being Drewski.
I guess he got out of that when they started throwing at him with the the damn Diddy list or whatever they were trying to throw him on.
Yeah, it all kind of
done with that stupid shit. Let's watch old Drews. Let's give him a little.
Ken, customer.
That's how they do it in places too.
I do both now.
I do both now.
Bán nó to hả?
Yes.
To hả? To hả? Hot. Chấm mít hả? Ghê quá. Thằng ấy. Em còn thằng ấy.
He's got Chinese hair.
Đúng rồi đấy. Ê. Ê. Thằng em một. Thằng em một. Ghê quá. Chăm gì đâu mà thứ đó.
뭔 봐요?
넌 동해.
동매?
Nói nghe. Bỏ cái xem đi. Tao xem đi.
bốc mì xin chào thiên chuẩn
I want like a little sunflower right here.
Để cái
Nó phế rồi còn đi làm cho nó đi, trời ơi, cái tay
cái
xấu
cả
quá.
mỏ.
Đi nữa thấy chưa?
Fifty dollar more, sorry.
$50 more.
Color cute. Can you just make it a little shorter?
The $10 more, $10 more.
$10?
$10. 500. You think 500 for what?
Can we not pay $525?
Mấy cái người này làm cái đó không được.
That's no. You never charge me $525.
I didn't.
Not yours.
What, you don't speak English no more?
None.
Okay.
Oh, he's a fool, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's fucking funny, dude. I don't care. Yeah, anybody says. But anyway, what else going on? Anything interesting?
Oh, F the Dolphins is back.
F the Dolphins. He took a nap, got up.
Oh
Let's see
man.
what else crazy going on. I was we were talking about the dude shooting the damn TikTok freaking guy or whatever, the one that was knocking on his door, and then I go scroll and pull up another story. A dude shot a damn DoorDash driver. He was at the wrong house, and I'm thinking that's what you think to do when you just see people you don't recognize outside of your house. Like, who are these people?
It's like just. Oh yeah, get the gun.
I don't understand it. Like, look, man, I'm cautious around my shit too. Don't get me wrong, but it's like that's not my first instinct when it's like somebody's coming up to my house and I may not recognize them. I kind of at least first, well, let me see what they need.
Nah, buddy was on a bender, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this is a New York town official. Allegedly shot a lost DoorDash driver who rang his home doorbell looking for directions. So the dude rings his doorbell, and you decide, you know what? I'm going to shoot this motherfucker. I don't get it. 24 years old. What did they charge him with? Riley was inside Orange County home. Approached the house at 9:50. I get it. It's late. But it's happened at my residence before, other ones that I've lived at. I've had people, strange times at night, but I grab my pistol, don't get me wrong. I ain't ever going to my door at 10 o'clock at night without my gun in my hand, but my first instinct isn't to start firing shots.
At least open the door first,
He said the town official warned the driver to get off of his property before he drew a gun and shot at the stranger several times. Why the dude didn't get off his property, I don't know. But the driver let's see, they said he asked the guy, "Is this your order?" The guy said no, and he proceeds to say, "Get off my property." He walks away. He's going about his day, going to his car, and the guy tries to murder him. So that's the story that his lawyers. Yeah. He just started shooting at him, and he thought his life was over. Police ruled the driver wasn't doing anything suspicious and was just out there doing his job. So the driver, let's see, what did they get? Trying to see what they charged him. Riley is a federally licensed armed firearm dealer, was charged with first-degree assault. Second degree. Well, he won't be a federally licensed firearm dealer after this.
No.
Because there's no way he's getting off of that shit.
No, you are done, sir.
Damn. That's two stories, though, where that's your first instinct is to start firing at somebody. And like I said, don't get me wrong, dude. I do protect my shit, but at least give somebody a chance.
Yeah, right.
Damn. I mean, you ring my doorbell, I'm not going to shoot you. I'll just let that be known. So let all the DoorDash people know you're at the wrong house. I'm not going to kill you. I promise.
It's nuts, man. They just first thought.
People are nuts, man. So that was it. Killer robots. DoorDash drivers, watch yourself. Customer service has gone to shit.
Sure has.
Epstein files still haven't been released. I do see a Chicago homeowner moves in with alleged squatters who refuse to leave the property. Let's see what this is about. Why not? We're already here. Let's see what this shit's about. If you can't beat them, live with them. A Chicago homeowner turned unwanted guest into unwanted roommates when he moved in with two suspected squatters who had taken over his house and refused to leave, which I'm still so confused on this squatter shit. I'm still confused how somebody can do that to anybody's property. under any circumstances. I don't give a fuck how long you haven't been on the property or whatever. But anyway, Marco Velasquez was gearing up to sell his property in the city's South Side neighborhood when he received the troubling news from his realtor regarding the unexpected occupants. So what did he do? Alleged squatters. What is alleged? I mean, were they fucking doing it or not? They took refuge in the house and claimed to be the rightful owners of the property when the realtor confronted them. Powell has been arrested weeks earlier after being accused of squatting in another Southside home. She was charged with burglary, forgery, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's see. I want to see how he just started living with them. Officials could not find a copy of the mortgage in the records, but were limited on what they could do because of city laws. Under current Illinois laws, police cannot remove any suspected squatters unless the homeowner goes through a months-long eviction process. Months.
Yeah.
To kick somebody out of your shit.
Yep.
God, well, they got new legislation. It's making its way through the state house. Would allow the immediate removal of these assholes if the rightful owner can prove the property is theirs. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
absolutely.
That's it.
Because, I mean, imagine you come home from work one day and there's people in your house. It's like, nah, this is ours.
Like, yeah,
what are you supposed to do?
Sorry. Yeah, now you got to go through months of eviction, you know. God, the worst thing to happen is when police told me they couldn't do anything. Let's see. Armed with air mattress, the rightful owner, his wife, and a few friends spent the night with the couple. Can you imagine? We stayed in the living room watching the door. They stayed in one of the bedrooms. Dude, I just don't know how. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'd have been in the news. Guys shoot squatters because they won't get the fuck out of his house.
Dude, I'm telling you. So my tactic would be to set off as many, like, smoke bombs, like the bug out cans, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I would
be like,
set
well, that's
off
cool.
as many as I could in the house and be like, I was just trying to get rid of the fleas. Like I didn't.
That's a good. Yeah, you know, you would probably get charged too.
Like I didn't even check the house. I walked in the
be like, I
living
don't know.
room.
Yeah, I just was. Well, it needs to be fumigated.
Yeah, like
they said this.
I left out,
they
came
wanted
back and,
they wanted $8,000 to leave. The homeowner he gave them $4,300 in a cash for key agreement.
Oh man!
So he wound up paying these assholes. He said he didn't want to give them the money, but
did they leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he said we didn't want to give them the money, but we heard really bad stories about squatters taking over properties for 6, 8, 10 months, even a year. I heard stories before about squatters. I never thought it would happen to me. So he wound up. They negotiated down to $4,300 so he could get his fucking house back. Oh my God.
Dude, I'm bugging the whole house out. Like it's getting fogged out in here, and I'll be back in 45 minutes. See if y'all are still here.
Idea, bro.
And if not, somebody's getting forcefully removed. Somebody's leaving.
Let's watch fun. What is dude talking about? Diddy. Diddy. But yeah, no, I didn't even think about that, dude. You just put off a bunch of them fucking raid bombs.
Yep.
You talk about make a motherfucker get out.
Yeah.
Man, that's a shame when you got to sit there and come off of thousands of dollars to get these idiots out of your own home. I just don't understand how that's even has to go through the steps to make a different law on that, you know? I mean, It should just be, it's my shit, you know? It's just like if I go outside and you're in my car, I have all, get the fuck out of my car.
Like, no. This is my car.
Yeah, it's my car.
Now you have to prove that it's not their car.
Yeah, it's my car. See you later. You know?
And it got a lot worse over COVID when they started changing the landlord-tenant laws.
What did they do?
Well, they changed it to where you couldn't evict people for non-payment of rent.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So then it started where like it wasn't even as simple as like, I don't know these people. They've never paid me rent. I can prove that they haven't paid me rent. They need to go to, well, it doesn't matter if they didn't pay you rent because you can't evict somebody for that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the ones that were getting screwed with that were the damn, the property owners.
Yeah, and so I was I just have a big ass house party till the cops come. I like it. Just get everybody kicked out. Everybody's got to go.
Mr. Bougie, you should be on here instead of in the comments, you asshole.
Motherfucker. So I was doing an apartment complex in Alabama one time, a couple of years ago, and when I first started it was like a I don't know, like a 6-month long job. So when I first started it, they were very lax with the keys and whatever. And then I went back one time to measure some units, and they were like, look, you have to lock the doors when you leave the units. Like, no ifs, ands, buts. You leave the unit, even to walk to your car, lock the fucking door. So they had an incident where they evicted some upstairs residents, right? The unit under them was being renovated. So they can't, it comes to eviction day. These people are moving their shit out. Well, they were left unattended for a little while. The unit under them, like I said, was being renovated, and it had been left unlocked. So they moved in to the lower unit. And then the apartment complex had to go back through the eviction process to get them out of the lower unit because they had just moved in it. They just were like, okay. They started putting their shit in there, and then they couldn't evict them once their shit was in there, and they came back, and the tenants were down there. It was like, no, you evicted us from Unit B. We're in Unit A.
Wow. So they had to go through the whole process.
Yep.
Yeah, they I don't know. They make it too hard for that, and I get why there's the eviction, laws, but at the same time, man, when somebody just decides to occupy a dwelling that you own without your permission, I mean, that to me, that's no better than someone breaking and entering into your fucking home, and
I don't
that's
see
not
how
allowed.
it's not. Like,
I
how
don't
else do they
either.
get in? They have to break in.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought that used to be like, what if I come home and somebody's robbing my house and I catch them? So then they're like, oh, no, I'm living here.
I'm not robbing and I'm moving
I'm not
in.
stealing nothing. I live here. Like,
so then you're like, oh shit, all right, well, I guess I need to start the eviction process.
that's what I'm gonna start doing, dude. That's probably good profit. You just wait for somebody to go to work, kick their door in, and if you get caught, just tell the police I live here.
Yeah, I live
They
here.
have to evict me. The smiles.
So fucking dumb. It's such a dumb law. I don't know if it's like that over here, like in our state, but
And it was made for a good reason, right? Like the whole squatter thing was for, like, say, like Birdman's property out in New Orleans, right?
Yeah,
it's
the
just
little mansion.
it's falling apart. Nobody's doing anything with it. I don't know that it was like directed at mansions, but it was like, if a property is not being cared for, it's completely abandoned. Say grandpa dies and all the kids live 15 states away. All right.
right.
And the property is just not inhabited. The grass is overgrown. The property's falling apart. And somebody that is homeless moves into that property, right? Then after, depending on the state you're in, 7, 10, 12 years of them taking care of the property. That's one of the parts of the law. They have to take care of the property. They have to keep up with it. They have to keep up with the utilities and, making sure the property doesn't fall apart. And they can't be basically confronted. Like, they just have to live normal life there, no hiding. Then they can submit to the state to claim ownership of that property.
Okay.
So basically they see it as like, well, if y'all needed and cared about this property, nobody would have lived there for 7 to 10 years without y'all noticing, and the property wouldn't have went to shit while y'all weren't there. And another thing with it I've seen is people that own lots of land, right? So say you own 5 acres. And somebody next to you owns 5 acres or 2 acres or 3 acres, and they've moved states away. They don't have a house on it. It's just land, right? Well, the land is constantly being overgrown. It looks like shit. It's an eyesore. If you take care of the work on that property, you cut the grass, you keep it mowed, you keep it looking good because you don't want your property looking like shit because of it. Well, after so many years, you can claim ownership of that property if the landowner hasn't done anything with it.
Just considered abandoned.
Pretty much. So that's where the laws came from, but people take advantage of it. You go to flip a
Right.
house, and then you finally get done, and you go to list it on the market, and somebody moved in overnight, and now you have to work on
if
evicting
your
these
house is
fucking
sitting
people.
there for a while, before you sell it,
Yes.
and say you don't even live in the state, which is what happens a lot. Like, you're not living in the area; it's just an investment property. And then the realtor runs into idiots like, these people that are squatting in that guy's house. The realtor goes there to show it, and they got people fucking sitting in it.
Right.
And you're like, what are you doing? Oh, well, we live here. Yeah, we moved in. It's like, wait a second, So, yeah, I'm with you. I guess it was made for a decent reason, the whole law around it. But at the same time, I mean, you got to have some common fucking sense. I mean, as soon as I can prove that this is my house and it's not just a he said, she said type argument, but it's like, no, look, here's this is my shit. Look at my utility bills, the deed or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, well, you got to get the fuck, unless you were invited in. Cause I know that's like, say you allow somebody to come stay in your house for a little bit. Well, you can't just kick them out. Now they have, you got to go through the whole eviction process.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and
you didn't welcome them fuckers into your home. That's it.
Well, and a lot of the better squatters, as soon as the owner shows up,
Yeah. As soon as the owner shows up, that's it. Yeah.
And
Bougie, what you gonna do? You show up and it got people squatting in your house.
I would love to know. So
anyway,
there a lot of the better squatters, if you want to call them that, I guess, but they'll make fake leases to the property that they know like properties are being flipped, right?
Yeah.
They'll make a fake lease agreement with their names on it and the property owner's names on it and the address, so that when they do get found out and try to get kicked out, they say, no, I got a lease. Like, I rented this place, So then it's really a court battle of like, I did not sign that. Like, they didn't, that's not my agreement. Now you have to prove that you didn't lease this property to these people and you're just trying to kick them out because they're bad tenants.
I got you. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I still think there needs to be more common sense and, probably every law, but
yeah,
especially that one. Just like Bougie said, when the owner comes home, whoever the fuck's in the house, get the fuck out. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, what do you feel about this California law they're trying to pass where it makes it an automatic? Now? Well, they're working on passing a law that makes it an automatic felony to solicit sex work from 16 and 17-year-olds.
To make it a felony?
Yes.
So it's not a felony already?
Apparently not.
What the fuck? So what is it now?
They said it could, it'd usually be a misdemeanor. And the lawmakers in California that are against the law say that it could be used as ammunition to prosecute young age relationships. If it was a 18 or 19-year-old dealing with a 16 or 17, 18-year-old, they would basically, the parents would be mad and try to use that law against a person of age that was dating a person slightly above underage.
But they do that already, though, right? Here, at least?
Not really. I think a lot of places the law is up to a certain age. There's like an age range, So like
what's the oldest a 15-year-old can be in a relationship with here in Louisiana?
I think 17 or 18. I think it's a 3-year age gap. Is
because from what I always understood, 17 was the legal age of consent in this state.
Yeah. So I think that's why they bring in the age gap, 2 years. Okay, so 2 years. Yeah. So 16.
Well, then if that's the case, if you're 15, it would be 17.
Right.
16, but I don't know. It's confusing because, like I said, if the age of consent is 17, then how can a 16-year-old be with an 18-year-old? Because they're not old enough to consent at 16, and 18 is considered an adult.
I mean, maybe it plays a little different if you. I don't know.
Would you get your ass on here and explain this to us and get out the comments?
I know usually they just won't prosecute it though. Like, they've made it an age gap. Now, I mean, because say like with the sexting and shit with minors, right? Like both parties are doing illegal shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we can prosecute this kid for you, but we're going to have to prosecute your daughter as well because, they're both in the wrong. So.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. It's confusing to me. I mean, I just thought, once you were an adult, anything under the age of whatever the age of consent is, you're pretty much done.
Apparently it is, unless you're within a two-year age gap,
Yeah. But anyway, the one in California, they're trying to make it
an automatic felony.
But didn't it have something to do with the trafficking shit though?
Well, yeah, that's what they're getting at. They're trying to make it a felony for any kind of sexual solicitation of a 16 and 17-year-old to be an automatic felony, because right now it's not. But there are a bunch of lawmakers over there that are opposed to the law because they feel like it's going to be weaponized against 18, 19-year-olds that are in relationships with 16, 17-year-olds.
Yeah, well, that's their fucking excuse, which I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends. I guess you could argue that a point. Because at face value, you look at it like, well, yeah, I mean, that should be a fucking law.
Well, but
because you hear the word sex trafficking in it.
Solicitation for money in exchange of sexual favors with a 16 or 17-year-old. It seems simple. Like if you're a 19-year-old in a relationship with a 17-year-old, then you're not soliciting sex acts from this minor. You're in a relationship. Yeah. It's like, what do y'all are dating, but you pay her $100 every time y'all get together? Like,
And I guess they're voting on this shit over there.
Yeah, and I believe it's close to not passing, but
Jesus.
Yeah.
Fucking warped place to live. Huh? So crazy over there. Oh, man. No, I don't know. I did see one of them other, speaking of all that sex trafficking, one of them Epstein accusers had, unalived herself, according to authorities,
Yeah.
And that's, they're just dropping off now like flies, these accusers. Meanwhile, we can't get a freaking name of anybody, I mean, nobody's being held accountable. Crazy shit. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck, man? What else? Anything else exciting before we get off of here?
I don't think so.
I seen, what was that one about that journalist lady I was reading earlier? It's just the headline itself sounded fucking nuts. It was, let me see. I'll find it right here. Body of Ukrainian journalist kidnapped by Russia returned with eyes and brain removed.
Well,
likely to hide signs of torture.
Yeah, probably.
Well, they do some crazy shit. It's like when that Otto Warmbier in North Korea, man. They get you, and then it's like, let's do some fucking experiments on these people. Like, damn.
Yeah, they do. They do some wild shit, like just the shit in history that they used to like experiment on people, and it's just nuts.
Yeah, you start reading some of that shit, dude. I mean,
Like,
even the whole
like the Nazi doctors and shit.
Yeah,
holy shit.
Yeah, even the ones that weren't like just some of the medical practices, like the lobotomies and shit.
Yeah,
it's like that shit. That shit went on for a while, and it wasn't doing any good at all.
I saw a dude. He was talking today. And I say talking, it was like a little post, and he said he was going in for some type of like dental work or surgery or something, and he jokingly asked for a lobotomy, and it got him put on a 72-hour psych hold.
Damn. Wow. Having technical difficulties. Somebody's having technical difficulties. Can we trade California for Canada? I'm asking for a friend. I don't know, man. Canada,
I don't know which one's worse, man.
Yeah, I don't know if Canada's much better.
I think we should just give Cali to Canada.
I think so, too. Yeah, we don't need anything in return. I mean, they're not worth anything. Canada can have them. Yeah, take them, please. Get rid of them. We'll start with Cali, and then we'll
go Oregon and Washington.
Yeah. We just need to draw a line, man. Do like Trump said, build a wall, but not on the southern border, just around.
Yeah, we just don't anything that touches the Pacific over there. We don't need it.
I know, and it's so crazy.
We're keeping Alaska.
Oh yeah.
Other than Alaska.
Yeah, we want Alaska. What's Johnny Five about all the
Nazi
scientists that became NASA scientists? Well, that's true. That is true. I've heard about that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Seen wasn't that long ago. One of them fucking Nazis was like in his fucking 80s, like almost on his deathbed, got fucking charged for all them, them Nazi, crimes or whatever.
I heard a lot of them ran to like South America, like Brazil and shit.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They took off and went to Argentina and Brazil and.
Yeah, I did. I emailed it. I emailed you the link. But we're about to get off here anyway. And why you switch names? Anyway. Let me see. I'm going to wait. See if Yeah, I sent it to your email, the link to get on. You got about 10 seconds. No, let me find what else.
I saw on the way home, I was listening to a murder doc, and it was a murder that had happened in Italy. And it threw me off with their investigation tactics over there. What up, Booge? Their investigation tactics over there on these murder cases and shit compared to what we have here, right? So this girl goes missing, and the lead investigator on the case, basically one of her first moves was to contact the cell provider over there and get a list of every cell phone that was in the area that night. Every one of them. So they got like 15,000 cell phones tracked that were, within this area. And then they put in through the court to bug all the cell phones in the area to listen to conversations for a period of time to see if anybody had said anything suspicious about the kidnapping or disappearance of this girl. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was it's so crazy how different it is.
There's just random cells though, like people.
Yeah, so everybody within this city.
Damn, they just bugging it like
the whole city.
God. So
one second, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah. The reason why they did 15,000 at one time is because we have AI now, so they're able to listen to a broader swatch of it.
But I didn't even think they could legally do that.
Yeah, just the legality of being able to do it was crazy.
Guess the Boogie's like, come on now, they do what the fuck they.
They may do it, but they'll never say they do here.
I saw his face as soon as I said that. He's thinking, come on, dude, like really.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It'll be like it'll go what 1, 15, 150, 50, and 115,000. There's no difference.
That's true. That's
once
true.
Once you get the go ahead to do something, it's like, hey, look, we got AI now. We can save the world with it. Let's do it.
But it's not right, Bougie.
I will say this was an older case, though.
Okay.
It was about 15 years ago, so it was before AI. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think the reason why the American government may have not done that for just a simple like disappearance murder case is the money that went into like the people to search through all these records. And I mean, imagine the workforce it takes to listen to 15,000 conversations and to sift through 15,000 phone numbers.
All right. You want my theory on this?
Over one missing person? Nah.
Yeah. You ever heard of a bridge to nowhere? Do you know what a bridge to nowhere is? It's where like, okay, so I'm the governor and Shane is my brother-in-law, right? And you're the people. And so, I keep telling you that I'm going to do something for y'all, for the people. And they go, okay, what? And I go, well, I'm going to build this nice big bridge so that it can connect whatever. And well, what's that going to? Oh, there's going to be some land on the other side of that water over there where we're developing. And it's going to bring this, and it's going to be a factory. And I'm doing all kinds of shit, right? And so y'all say, okay, you voted me in, you give me the money, and then I give it to Shane to go ahead and start building a bridge. And he starts building a bridge, and then, all right, we're out of money now, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, that you might have just touched on some deep corruption is what you did.
Maybe.
Anytime you see money going into a dead end thing, somebody's getting paid.
Well, they found the killer. So,
well, I mean, that was like a a good byproduct.
if
that's what I was about to say, it was a byproduct of this corruption.
We're gonna have no more roaches. It's the same.
Because like Bougie, if you get kidnapped tomorrow, do you think the parish sheriff is gonna bug 15,000 phones to find you?
I think the most they'll do is send a secretary to the Dollar Tree to get like a couple of flashlights, and they'd be like,
"Is he in the woods?" Nope.
We shine across the parking lot. We walking back to the car. I mean, we do our best.
He ain't here.
So who was it? But was it somebody like a city official's fucking daughter or something?
No,
because that does seem like not even the fact that they even bugged a phone, but to do 15,000 of them. Like who was this person? They don't put that kind of effort into that.
They sat in front of a nightclub out there and they got DNA swabs of everybody that had walked into this nightclub that, that night. They found out basically through the phone tracking and shit that her phone that they were tracking had wound up at this nightclub for a night, maybe 2 nights in a row or something. So they stood in front of the nightclub and DNA swabbed everybody that walked in. And I'm like,
I feel like that.
How?
That I think it was Rush Hour when Chris Tucker was like, "Who the fuck you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton?" You know, it's like, I mean, damn, that's a lot of work for.
Dude.
Honestly, you don't hear about doing that kind
might have been.
I mean, swabbing everybody.
That might have been Operation. I don't know. You got to name it. That might have been like Operation whatever it is. But it's the government. Calling in on a small town. Going, hey, we gotta. This girl's connected to whatever she's connected to. It's like it's like a whose dog you kill.
Yeah.
Oh, John Wick. And then no, I want nothing to do with it. Then it's a big deal, right? So it's kind of the same thing.
Well, speaking of dogs, Justin, I seen him attacking your fucking breed again today because them motherfuckers jumped on somebody's dog when they were walking it and mauled the motherfucker to death.
What, a Labrador?
Was that dog talking shit?
I think so. Yeah, I think in dog language it was.
Yeah.
A little Pomeranian was running its mouth and the pit bull was like, "What?"
Them little fuckers do run their mouths.
But that's what, of course, it ignited the thing again. Like, why do people still possess these, or able to possess these dogs?
Yeah.
Well,
they just want to ban it.
Rid of it. So I'm sorry to overtalk you. There's no getting rid of it now because Karen's own pit bulls. So that's it. That's it. Once Rachel Ray got one, that was it. It was on.
She said Rachel Ray.
Yeah, Rachel Ray. The girl.
I know who she is.
Chick. Yeah, she had a brand of dog food, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. What was it? Michael Vick. When Michael Vick's dogs. And then all of the Karens went out and picked up all Michael Vick's dogs. And that was the turn, buddy. That was it. All of a sudden, oh my God, it's a couch hippo. It's not even a pit bull.
So you're saying once white folks started owning them, that was it. White suburban moms, once they started having pit bulls.
They changed the names too. They started calling them staffies and
American bully. I don't know what the
couch hippos, and he's just a big baby, and blah blah blah.
That's Justin.
And the reason why
that's him right there. That's him.
Don't talk about it. Justin will not see nothing like that.
Yeah, that's him.
I will say
his little baby killers he's got in the house.
My pit is the scariest dog that I have in my house.
Until it sees a Pomeranian.
She's scared of everything.
Well, everybody.
But I have a border collie, and she's border collie and Australian cattle dog mix, and she's a fucking asshole, dude.
Yeah,
she is a dickhead. She bullies the shit out of my pit bull.
Yeah, but how are they around other dogs? Like if it's a strange, like in a neighborhood or something, if they seen a dog.
So my oldest dog will run up to the windows and bark. My other two really don't give a shit.
They're like, man, I ain't got time for this.
Yeah, they don't care. And people
They
bring their dogs over here all the time. Like my friends, when they come, they'll bring their dogs, and my dogs are cool. My oldest one doesn't like other dogs because she likes to be left the fuck alone. She's old, so when people bring puppies over here and they're running around and acting crazy, she just goes and does her own thing. She's not trying to attack, but she'll just go like run upstairs and hide under the bed or some shit. My other two dogs, they're cool, but my border collie mix, she's a bully. Like she's the territorial, like this is my fucking house. Like the dog will go pick up a stick and she's running and snatching it and like we'll fucking snip at them and shit until they give it up. And she's like, nah, don't touch nothing in my house.
I got a question about the dogs. So how they bring dogs in and they're part of the family now and all of that.
Yep.
End of life. Like, Shane, do you remember back in the day what would happen to our dogs at end of life?
Yeah, well, it was pretty quick. And
Dad was like, all right, time to go take it for a ride. Came back. What happened? Like, oh, he ran away.
Yeah, he ran away or went to the farm. He's on a farm.
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you have so question to Justin is how much is that oldest dog gonna cost you, buddy?
Nothing.
Are you sure about that?
Yep.
Yeah, they are treated a little different than when we came up for sure. But whether you look at it right or wrong, it's different.
Remember one of your neighbors had the dog caught cancer and all of that, and they sending the dog to the hospital and everything, and bringing it, and then what? It was in a span of what, like 30 or 40 days. They spent like
Yeah.
a whole lot more money than they really
Fuck,
had to
I did
spend.
it with we did it here with one. And I was like, God damn, they got a tumor removed. And
Yeah.
of course, you know, they don't give that service away. Well, then that tumor came back and it was like, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
My
man.
buddy's dog.
The same tumor? Or?
Yes. Well, the same area, same fucking
Dude, my buddy's dog,
It
he
kept getting them right there.
Yeah, that bitch.
like,
You could should
they
have brought him
won't-
to see me.
they won't bring their dogs to the vet, which, you know, they're like their dogs, like, you know, whatever. And dude, his nuts are the size of that globe behind you. Like, he walks around and he has to sit down sideways because he can't sit down straight or he'll sit on his nuts like a fucking
all of that.
beanbag, dude.
That's a flex.
That's a flex. Damn.
I'm sorry.
He's a happy dog. He's a happy dog.
Hell yeah, he is.
So
I know,
Booge,
I know, I'm
you
sorry.
you throwing a party when you come home one day and squat it? Like, say you go to Brazil for a couple months, you come
I'm on
back
building.
and there's people living in your fucking house.
Well, yes, and you know, when you had a rough upbringing, you remember on Pulp Fiction when he said it is worth to find the mother who scratched my car just so I can get him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost welcome that situation just so I can do what I want to do.
But what you gonna do?
Oh, a lot.
Because
And it'll
legally,
be legal. Okay,
Oh, okay.
So let's say you're scared of something. We all are, right?
right?
Some more than others. All right. So if you believe it or not, people are scared of frogs. You ever seen somebody scared of a frog?
Oh yeah.
Frogs, snakes, rats, pit bulls, dogs in general. You know, a lot of that stuff. And then it goes up from there to, you know, guns, knives. And as long as you don't point a gun at somebody, but if you walk in your own house and you got a gun, inside your home as compared to outside your home, you can do a lot more inside of your house as far as being naked or whatever than outside. You understand that, right? I'm just
Right.
giving you the legality of it. Not that I'm pulling my nuts out on anybody, but
Yeah.
You could put on some Diddy, walk in, get naked, put on some Diddy, be like, it's a party, sit down, boy. You ain't going nowhere now.
Yeah, you here now.
you can have, it's your house. So as long as the neighbors don't call, or if you can get a petition from the neighbors saying that you're having a block party or something like that. But if I invited y'all to my house and I said, hey, I got to have like a 8 or 9 hour party. I mean, would y'all come here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what I mean? He's going to be loud. You understand it, right?
So you're just gonna try to run them off.
Oh, no. I'm not going to tell them to leave. We're just going to be there with them. Every room they go in is going to have somebody in the room.
That was the oddest part of that story I was reading, is that the dude wound up just staying the night or whatever with the squatters because he had no choice. So him and his family just stayed in the house with him. And then he had to wind up buying his way out of this by paying these fuckers to leave.
Dude,
that's
all right,
the last thing I'm
How much
doing.
did he pay? How much did he pay?
They wanted $8,000. They negotiated down to $4,300
Okay, $4,300
for the squatter to leave. Yeah.
Okay, so I would rent a U-Haul. I would get like 3 people to move most of my valuables that I want to keep inside the U-Haul, and I park it down the street or whatever. And then I'd rent, you know, a sound system or whatever, and I'd buy like a couple $100 worth of alcohol, and I'd get on YouTube. I mean, I usually Facebook Live, and I'd say, hey, about to have a banger right here in my house. And that's it. Off to the races. A free
Dude,
party, free alcohol.
You could go buy like Lowe's and Home Depot smoke detectors and just fill the house with them and just let them fucking ring.
Yeah. Anything.
Justin wants to aggravate the fuck out of them till they leave. Bougie wants to party with them.
Oh, no. I'm not partying with them because there's going to be a low-level threat of violence going on the whole time.
Hell yeah.
You know, where you know, a dude's all ripped and he's pumping, you know, like right next to the person, you know, but he's got his fist
like in
up.
Jackass when they rip their fucking pants off.
Like real.
Yep.
Yeah. Just look, bring your own music. So everybody that shows up has to bring some type of noise, right? Either crank up your cell phone or one of those little personalized alarm things that you pull, or could be a boombox, could be whatever. And
Just
then
bring something loud.
I'm gonna be burning a lot of incense. Oh man, it's gonna be all smoky up in here. I mean, every kind of smoke you can name. Just it's gonna be a lot of stimuli, and it's not gonna quit ever. Strobe lights. I'll be sitting there messing with the breakers. Random lights going on and off at times. You know what I mean? I go outside and cut the water off. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different stuff that I can do. You're gonna get out of there.
Yeah,
You can get out of
say
there.
you don't have to wait for the eviction. Do
Dude, I
that
got
shit.
kicked out of people's houses for being regular. So imagine if somebody told me to be annoying.
Oh shit! All right, let's wrap it up. I'm getting off of here. Next time your ass needs
Thank you for having me.
No, get your ass on earlier next time.
What? I was. I don't know what I was doing, man. I'm sorry.
Nothing.
I'm sorry.
You was doing nothing.
I'm sorry. I've been in my own headspace. I'm gonna get back into it. All right. I just gotta. I gotta focus. You know, we're all going through something.
Got to do you. We all going through it. So.
I know.
All right, let's rock and roll. Next week, we'll be back at it.
Yup.
Next week.
Peace out.
Thank you,
Later,
Justin.
y'all. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
watching.
Shane. Later. Thank
Appreciate
you.
Booge.
Let's see. Gumbo.